On today's episode, Elon tells the G20 about his next generation 25K Tesla, FSD version 11 is here, Tesla makes a play to become the standard in EV charging, and SpaceX ignites 14 Raptor 2 engines on their booster for the first time. The 2022 Indonesia B20 summit happened over the weekend, and Tesla CEO Elon Musk had a much-anticipated speaking role. Musk has obviously had some big things going on here in North America. Apparently, he's now sleeping in his new office at Twitter until he manages to accomplish whatever it is he's trying to do over there. So, Elon joined the conference remotely, which just so happened to be during a power outage. Elon appeared as a glowing head on a dark screen, illuminated by candlelight. It really did nothing to shake the supervillain image that some have been crafting for him. Anyway, the most interesting part from a Tesla perspective was when Elon was asked about his thoughts on an affordable electric vehicle program. The interviewer suggested that with the global EV market expanding, there is a growing need in developing countries for vehicles that meet their specific needs. Elon was asked if he had any thoughts on making a more affordable but still good quality Tesla, maybe call it the Model I for Indonesia or India. Elon replied to that by saying, "I can't speak too much about the future Tesla product development except to say that we do think that making a much more affordable vehicle would make a lot of sense and we should do something." This is the second time in just a couple of months that Elon has been back on script talking about the future of Tesla being an affordable EV platform. In October 2020 at Tesla Battery Day, Elon first pitched the idea that he could leverage new battery and manufacturing technologies to produce a compelling electric vehicle with a $25,000 price tag. Since then, it's been mostly speculation that some kind of a compact EV platform might be under development at Tesla China, where it would be manufactured for export to the global market. But that's about all we really had to go on. Elon even switched his tune for a while to say that it wasn't really an idea that Tesla was pursuing anymore. Then, on a recent earnings call, Elon brought the idea back to the forefront, telling investors we're working on the next generation vehicle, which will be probably about half the cost of the 3/Y platform. It will be smaller, to be clear, end quote. Now he's saying it again in front of a global audience, so that must be a good sign. Elon didn't respond directly to the suggestion that he name the vehicle after a South Asian country like India or Indonesia, but it's not too far of a stretch to think that the Asian market will have a major part to play. The success of Giga Shanghai in recent months has actually put Tesla ahead on vehicle orders for the first time in their history. There is actually more supply of vehicles in China than there is demand. And that's actually led Tesla to cut prices for the Chinese market to bring in new business. But that is also a signal that with Tesla China not constantly chasing after back orders, then they might have the capacity to shift focus onto new research and development projects, things like a next-generation affordable vehicle platform. Regardless, that's not very likely to happen inside the next few years. Tesla has Cybertruck production starting in a couple of months, as well as the Tesla Semi getting its facility up and running. They're probably going to focus on getting those two long-awaited vehicles out the door before starting anything new. Either way, though, it's a good sign that he's talking about this on an international stage. It means cheaper, smaller vehicles are still on his mind, and that he's zeroing in on a likely place to start that program off. In a bit of clever thinking, Tesla has opened up the designs for its electric charging connector to the wider industry and have begun trying to position their patent as the North American standard. They've even renamed the connector to NACS, or the North American Charging Standard, which you would think is a bit overconfident, but electric vehicle infrastructure is the Wild West right now, and this move is actually pretty savvy. The current standard is the CCS connector, and the hardest part about trying to replace it is that it's been almost globally adopted at this point. But Tesla's NACS connector is not only sleeker and more efficient, it's got name recognition. That might be the very reason why Tesla hasn't tried this before now. Industry critics have been quick to point out that Tesla likely was attempting to control EV charging infrastructure with their proprietary tech up until the recent regulation changes in the states required Tesla charging stations to at least carry CCS adapters. And yeah, Tesla's a company, and companies want to make money. This isn't a new concept, but it's much more likely that Tesla wants to take advantage of all the new funding from the American government. Specifically, there's a section about the funding for EV stations, which specifies that funding can only be given to stations that work with EVs from more than one automaker, and making a push for other EV companies to adopt their tech instead of adapting to older, less efficient designs is a very Tesla move. And it's not just Tesla pushing for this. A smaller EV company called Aptera launched a supporting petition to the American Congress earlier this year that's gotten around 40,000 signatures so far. That's not nothing in an industry that's as relatively small as this is. But for now, we'll have to wait and see if this ploy works. Generally, industry standards live and die based on the early adopters. Tesla is easily the biggest name in electric vehicles, and they're not above working with other companies if they need to get something done. Given the fact that the Tesla NACS connector is just an overall improvement over the CCS, we might see this campaign pick up steam and congressional support over the next year or so. Holiday shopping is just around the corner, which is why I'm excited to share today's sponsor, Raycon. When you're looking for a gift everyone needs, Raycons are the way to go. Their wireless earbuds, headphones, and speakers offer premium sound, useful features, an almost custom comfortable fit, and up to 54 hours of battery life. I like to get my shopping done early to avoid the rush, and even better, I can knock out that list all at once while getting 30% off by shopping Raycon's holiday bundles. They have amazing bundles for everyone, including your kids, mom and dad, fitness lovers, or gamers. My favorite is the Everyday Duo bundle, since you save more on the same great earbuds. And to make shopping a little easier, Raycon also offers buy now, pay later options. Don't wait until the last minute to finish your holiday shopping. Right now, you can click the link in the description box or go to buyraycon.com/TeslaSpace and use code EARLYBF to get 20% off site-wide, or save even bigger and get 30% off Raycon's exclusive holiday bundles. It has been a hot minute since we took a peek at what SpaceX has been up to over at Starbase in Boca Chica, Texas. The testing grounds have seen a flurry of activity for the last couple of weeks as Starship and Super Heavy boosters prototypes were maneuvered around the site, lifted, stacked, and tested. But by far the wildest event happened earlier Monday when Booster 7 activated a record 14 of its Raptor 2 engines for a full duration static fire. And yeah, if you're wondering where the booster went partway through the video, you are not alone. The 10-second burn kicked up a huge plume of dust and exhaust from the engines, completely obscuring the booster and pad, almost the whole tower too. This was the first time SpaceX had activated this many engines at once. The previous record was a 7-engine burn, and since things went perfectly on that occasion, it looks like SpaceX is interested in stepping up their program. Each Raptor 2 engine puts out about 230 tons of force, depending on the configuration. SpaceX has been carefully ramping up the amount of them that they were firing at one time, for obvious reasons. The Super Heavy booster is equipped with 33 Raptor 2 engines, and just based on what happened with 14, you have to imagine that Boca Chica is going to get a new crater when they do a full test, whether the booster survives or not. But all that power is the point of Starship. It's going to be the most powerful rocket in existence once it's ready to go, able to put up over 100 tons of payload into low Earth orbit. So it makes sense for the booster to kick up so much dust with less than half of its engines going. For now, though, this test is another step towards that full 33-engine burn and the much-anticipated flight tests. The Monday burn was an opportunity to make sure their launch pad shielding and fire suppression systems were working, and everything seemed to go smoothly. It shouldn't be too long now before we see more engines spun up and a bigger dust cloud hanging over Starbase. Tesla CEO Elon Musk confirmed that the rollout of the company's newest full self-driving system update, version 11, has begun. The system began uploading to FSD beta users late November 11th, and while we don't have a changelog for the update yet, we do know the biggest feature: merging the FSD beta software, which is used on smaller roads and city streets, with Tesla's autopilot software, which is used as a driver assist system for highways. The FSD system allows drivers to input destinations and have the vehicle navigate to them. Despite the name, FSD is not a full autopilot, and the responsibility is still on the driver to keep alert and be ready to take over should anything happen. That being said, FSD has come a long way, and updates are regularly fed to the estimated 100,000 beta testers. Up until this version, Autopilot and FSD were kind of separate in that FSD was an additional charge on top of the Autopilot functionality. Autopilot is a standard feature in newer Tesla vehicles and can do things like emergency brake, give collision alerts, monitor blind spots, and use adaptive cruise control, something that is very useful on highways. FSD, on the other hand, has features that are designed for street driving, and it can handle things like lane changing and can navigate to some degree on its own. It can also autopark. Both of these systems are classified as Level 2 autonomous driving systems, with Level 5 being true self-driving. Level 2 systems require driver input and supervision, so keep your eyes on the road, people. Merging the two systems is a big step for the company. It makes the FSD system feel like more of a finished product with wider reach and functionality. Folding both programs together will likely be easier on the developers in terms of meshing the two systems, but we'll also have to wait to see the reports from the beta users on that front. Every system has kinks, and making big changes tends to reveal a lot of bugs. But again, most beta users are used to keeping a close eye on their cars when they're using FSD's navigation features anyways. So hopefully we'll get a changelog soon to see what exactly this merger looks like on paper. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up today if you liked it. That is so important for getting our content out to more people. If you enjoy the content, then you'd probably also enjoy our weekly newsletter, so sign up with the link down below at theteslaspace.com. A huge thank you to all of our Patreon supporters who are listed on the screen now. You help us make the best content we can, and we really appreciate it. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.